Laredo, Texas, a city that sits on the edge of two worlds where cultures blend and borders blur. It's a place of vibrant life where the Rio Grande flows, marking the boundary between the United States and Mexico. A bustling border town, a gateway between two nations. Here the streets are always alive with the hum of activity, people moving back and forth, each with their own story, their own journey. It was here in this sun-drenched landscape that Juan David Ortiz, a seemingly ordinary Border Patrol agent, led a double life. By day, he was a guardian of the border, a figure of authority and trust. By day, he donned a uniform, sworn to protect the nation's borders. He patrolled the vast stretches of land, vigilant and watchful, a symbol of security for many. By night he transformed into a predator, stalking the shadows, his heart consumed by a terrifying darkness. The same streets he patrolled by day became his hunting ground by night. Ortiz's story is not just about the crimes he committed, but also about the trust he shattered. The community, once tight-knit and trusting, was left in a state of shock and disbelief. The trust of his community, who believed him to be a protector. They saw him as one of their own, a man who stood for safety and order. The trust of his fellow officers, who wore the same badge, swore the same oath. They worked side by side, never suspecting the darkness that lay within him. And most tragically, the trust of his victims, who never suspected the danger that lurked behind his eyes. They were vulnerable, seeking help and protection, only to find themselves ensnared by a monster. This is the story of Juan David Ortiz, the Border Patrol agent who became a serial killer, and the 4 women whose lives he stole. Their names and faces are now etched in the community's memory, a haunting reminder of the evil that can hide in plain sight. It's a story of betrayal, of terror, and of a community left grappling with the knowledge that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. The streets of Laredo, once seen as safe, now carry the weight of a dark legacy, a chilling reminder that sometimes the greatest threats come from within. Melissa Ramirez, Claudine Ann Luera, Guizelda Alicia Hernandez, Janelle Ortiz. 4 names, 4 faces, 4 lives tragically cut short. They were daughters, mothers, friends. They were part of the fabric of Laredo, their absence leaving a void that can never be filled. These women weren't strangers to hardship. They lived on the margins, caught in circumstances that often left them vulnerable. They were part of a community rarely seen, often misunderstood, the community of street workers. Their lives, though different, intersected in the most tragic way imaginable. They became the targets of a man sworn to protect, a man who saw them not as human beings deserving of dignity and respect, but as problems to be eliminated. The nightmare unfolded in September 2018, a month that would forever be etched in the memories of the residents of Laredo, Texas. It was a time when the city, already familiar with the challenges of being a border town, faced an unprecedented wave of terror. Over the course of just 2 weeks, Ortiz's dark urges escalated, culminating in a terrifying spree of violence. The city streets, once bustling with life, became scenes of fear and suspicion. People began to look over their shoulders, wary of the lurking danger that seemed to grow with each passing day. His victims, all women, all involved in street work, were lured into his vehicle under false pretenses. They were promised safety, a ride to a better place, but instead they were driven into the depths of despair. The streets, once their place of work, became hunting grounds for a predator with a badge. He drove them to remote areas on the outskirts of Laredo, where he took their lives with chilling brutality. These desolate locations, far from the prying eyes of the city, became the final resting places for his victims. The darkness of the night concealed his heinous acts, leaving behind only the echoes of their last moments. Melissa Ramirez, 29, was the first victim, murdered on September 3rd. Her vibrant life was cut short, leaving behind a grieving family and a community in shock. The memorial site, adorned with candles and flowers, stood as a somber reminder of the life that was taken too soon. Claudine Ann Luera, 42, was killed just days later on September 13th. The crime scene, marked by police tape and evidence markers, told a story of violence and loss. Her death added to the growing fear and sorrow that gripped the community. Guizelda Alicia Hernandez, 35, met the same fate on September 15th. The community gathered at a vigil, their faces somber, their hearts heavy with grief. Each candle lit in her memory was a beacon of hope, a plea for justice in the face of relentless darkness. Finally, on September 15th, Janelle Ortiz, 28, became his final victim. The search for her, conducted in dark, deserted areas, was a race against time. Her portrait, a stark reminder of the lives lost, symbolized the end of a horrific chapter in Laredo's history. The killing sent shockwaves through Laredo, a city accustomed to the dangers of the border, but not to the terror of a serial killer in its midst. The community, once united in their daily struggles, now found themselves bound by fear and uncertainty. The aerial view of the city captured the collective anxiety that hung in the air. As fear gripped the community, law enforcement raced against time to find the perpetrator, unaware that the monster they were hunting wore a badge. The police, dedicated to protecting the citizens, were now faced with the daunting task of uncovering the truth. The sight of police cars speeding through the streets at night became a common occurrence, a testament to their relentless pursuit of justice. As the body count rose, so did the pressure on law enforcement. The city was gripped with fear, and the police were under immense scrutiny. Every day without an arrest meant another day of terror for the community. They needed a break, a clue, anything that could help them stop the killer before he claimed another life. The detectives worked around the clock, sifting through mountains of evidence, interviewing countless witnesses, and following up on every lead, no matter how small. That break came from an unexpected source, Erica Peña, a young woman who had a chance encounter with Ortiz on the night of September 14th. Erica was just an ordinary person, going about her life, unaware that she was about to become a key figure in a major criminal investigation. Peña, who knew Ortiz, accepted a ride from him. She had no reason to suspect that the man she thought she knew was hiding a sinister secret. As they drove through the quiet streets, she felt at ease, unaware of the danger that lurked beneath Ortiz's calm exterior. During their drive, she unknowingly brought up the subject of the recent murders, mentioning the victims by name. It was a casual conversation, one that she had no idea would trigger such a dramatic reaction. Ortiz's demeanor changed instantly, his facade cracking to reveal the darkness beneath. His eyes grew cold and his voice took on a menacing tone. The transformation was so sudden and so complete that it left Peña in a state of shock. He became agitated, his words laced with a chilling coldness that sent a wave of fear through Peña. She realized that she was in grave danger, trapped in a car with a man who was capable of unspeakable violence. Sensing the danger, Peña seized her opportunity. She knew that her only chance of survival was to escape, but she had to wait for the right moment. Her heart pounded in her chest as she prepared to make her move. When the car stopped at a gas station, she made a desperate run for it, fleeing to a nearby state trooper for help. Her legs felt like they were made of lead, but she pushed through the fear, driven by the need to survive. Her quick thinking, her courage in the face of terror, would prove crucial in bringing Ortiz to justice. Thanks to her bravery, the police were able to apprehend Ortiz and put an end to his reign of terror. Erica Peña's story is a testament to the power of courage and the importance of speaking up, even when it seems impossible. The investigation into the case began right away. Authorities worked tirelessly to gather evidence and piece together the events leading up to the incident. Every detail, no matter how small, was meticulously examined. Witnesses were interviewed, and their testimonies were cross-checked to ensure accuracy. The goal was clear, to uncover the truth and bring those responsible to justice. In a surprising turn of events, Ortiz pleaded guilty, admitting to the heinous crimes he committed. This plea, while offering some closure, could never truly heal the wounds inflicted upon the victims and their families. The justice system moved swiftly, ensuring that Ortiz faced the full weight of the law. The victims' families, though still grieving, found a semblance of solace in knowing that justice was served. Their courage and resilience became a beacon of hope for others. Laredo, a community once gripped by fear, began its journey towards healing. The scars of the past remained, but the spirit of the town grew stronger. Neighbors leaned on each other, finding strength in unity and a renewed sense of safety.